Lenny had left the boat, but it seems he was having a kip in the bananas.
Not eating bananas.
Oh, maybe the bananas attract insects. So I don't know. Anyway, Sandra got the bananas down and he jumped on my hand. Nearly gave me a heart attack. Our problems continue. When I climbed out of the water after freeing the prop, starboard prop, I found this bolt lying on the sugar scoop. It didn't take me long to figure out where it came from. It came from our new solar insulation. Unfortunately, Stanley made me buy these bolts. I already had nuts and bolts, but he said they were too big. I ended up with these ones, which the bolts are fine, but the nuts are non-locking, and I purchased split washers to lock the nuts. But a quick inspection shows that a number of them have fallen out. We're going to have to replace them. Sounds like a simple job, but actually getting up there is really tricky. I have in my store found, which is what I really wanted to use, the ones with a nylon built-in locking washer, and I think these will fit. Yesterday I went to top up the fuel tank in the dinghy, which was getting a bit low, and we carry a spare 20-litre fuel, which was full. Unfortunately, when I picked it up from its storage, it was no longer full. It split somewhere down here. Funnily enough, during the passage, Sandra and I smelt what we thought was diesel 2 or 3 times, and we couldn't work out where it was coming from. It was always down the back here, but we couldn't work out where it was coming from. It's not from the engine bays.
I've had this issue with the solars not going into absorption since they were installed, pretty much, and I've done quite a bit of research on the internet, and I fiddled about the day before yesterday actually, and I disconnected the MPPTs from the VE network, which Travis had connected them up to. It said on the internet that if they're connected up, hardwired to each other, which they are, there's no point having a Bluetooth connection because they're already connected. It doesn't make any difference. So I disconnected it the day before yesterday, and miraculously it went into absorption yesterday for exactly the 2-hour period that it's supposed to. That's what it's set up to do. We also, as you note, this is the new starboard solar. I got a pretty good solar out of it yesterday, bearing in mind that the maximum yield is supposed to be 1100 watts, because it's 2 550 watt panels in series, so it should be 1100 watts. Today we've got 1036, so we're only 64 watts off the absolute maximum, which is miraculous, it seems. So the day before yesterday, we had the dinghy in the water to go ashore, and when I started it started fine, but the throttle was not entirely controlling the revs. I've no idea why. I presumed it was some dirt in the carburetor. It's not been cleaned since it was installed in Rodney Bay in St. Lucia, way back in Easter time, so a year ago. So I took it to pieces as best I could and got it all back together again. I put it in the water and it started. Unfortunately, it was all the same, but when it started, when I pulled the first time, something popped out of here. And looking back at the videos that we took prior to it, there's supposed to be some sort of a bolt in here, and there's some sort of piece in here that this, which is part of the gear lever system, impinges upon. I don't know what it does or how important it is.
We got such a shock. So close. us. I thought it was something else. Wow. Last night in Jamaica. They sent us off in a bang. They sent us off with a bang.
So what did you say? With a what?
With a bang. Bang. Goodbye, Jamaica.
Okay, so it is Friday morning. It's time to go. And it's time to leave Montego Bay. It's been nice here, but there's not really a lot here. You're a bit isolated at the yacht club. You have to go all the way around here to right around to the front here where we're facing to sort of get anywhere. Sandra and I walked it yesterday, but it's nearly 3 kilometres each way. It's a good hike in the heat. And if you're carrying much, then it's a real hike, really. There we go. It's bye-bye Montego Bay.
Bye-bye, Montego Bay. Hello. We're not sure. We'll keep you posted.
And so, as for progress today, I've done 18, almost 19 miles. 744 for the month so far. And we're whizzing along with 4 reefs in and a very comfortable 6 knots or so into wind. We've got about 20 knots. It's been up to almost 30, which is why we've got so many reefs in. Here you can see the twist in that panel. We couldn't pull it up any further because the corner piece away at the far corner, although it came off the side, it came back up a little bit so that we couldn't pull the corner right up. Not that we would have been able to do it from here, but 2 months old, 1,000 nautical miles sailing, and it's fallen apart after that. A lot of money. Really pisses me off. Well, I figured Jamaica would reappear in the front window. I wasn't really expecting it to be Montego Bay, but that's where we are. We're heading back into Montego Bay to see if we can get repairs to our damaged solar arch. Let's see what happens about repairs. Heather in the office says there is someone who does stainless steel welding, so fingers crossed. So, what's happening, Commodore?
Oh well, we're just going to do something completely different. Backing up to the dock, then dropping anchor, and then we're going to have some repairs done.
Yeah.
Saturday, the 20th of April, 2024.
And hopefully we'll get this all done today.
Yes, we've got to get it because the wind's coming up. Let's go. Okay, today is Saturday, the 20th of April, and we had to come back to get some fixtures done on the solar panel. That came a bit undone there. I think the welding is not really good.
haven't left Montego Bay yet. We're just getting ready to go. It's a nice sunny day, and I just thought I'd check the panels, see how they look. The new starboard, it seems to be producing more than the new port, which indicates that the starboard panel was not damaged when it was hanging off. Well, once again, Jamaica shrinks in the rear view mirror. We've been going nearly a couple of hours, not making great progress because the wind is only 10 knots or so, and we're more or less beating into it. We're at 45-ish or so to the wind, which is giving us between 4 and 5 knots, 4.5 knots maybe. But it's a very pleasant sail. Unfortunately, the wind is more northeasterly than it was when we set off on Friday. On Friday it was more easterly, even a touch southeasterly. So we were able to head much closer to the waypoint and destination than we are currently. But actually I'd rather take this a longer sail, a comfortable sail. How long it will last remains to be seen. But anyway, bye bye Jamaica. That was fun. So, day one on the water is coming to an end, or not so bad. A very pleasant day's sail without really being challenging. The wind's never been more than about 15 knots maximum, I think, and most of the time it's been 10 knots or less. For a while the direction was great. It was round at 100, perhaps a little bit more, which allowed us to make a good course over the ground, but unfortunately it's just recently backed a bit to about 080, and that's sending us in a much more northerly trajectory. But it is what it is. Bizarrely, once again, we are drifting into wind, so there must be quite a bit of current coming between Hispaniola and Jamaica. Interesting. Well, that's good for us, driving us in the right direction. It's going to change, I imagine the tide will change. And so our first night at sea comes to an end as the moon goes down behind us. And the sun thinks about poking its head up in front of us. We're still crawling along at a knot and a half, 2 knots, as we have been all night pretty much. But still going, and we're going in a good direction now. So we'll put up with this for a while. There's the early morning dip. We're motoring now, and we're just surrounded by these young mahi-mahi. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at least, and they're just around the boat taking the mickey. I'm not sure how well this video is going to come out. We've still got the mahi-mahi around us. They're hunting pretty seriously. It's amazing to watch them. It's a bit like the dolphins when they're out in front. They suddenly accelerate off and there's a bit of thrashing around. And some poor fish meets its maker. They come up and they check every piece of good size or reasonable size piece of seaweed. A reasonable amount of sawdust or seaweed, not huge amounts. But they all seem to have, it's going up to the surface, they all seem to have small fish in there or something, because there's lots of thrashing around goes on. Sometimes they go around 2 or 3 times and so on. And sometimes you see little flying fish, whizzing away, trying to escape. Not sure if they all do, I'm sure some do.